right into a wheelie automatically. Don't want to lose this little cat as I enter these woods. Torque transfer, tap on the right throttle. It wants to pull you that way. Tap on this way, wants to pull you that way. Both of them, right up into a wheelie. What's going on, buddy? Right up into a wheelie. Squeeze the left brake, slide right, turn it. See that? Hey! Squeeze the right brake. What up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Electric Tips. Today's tip of the day is connecting 2 speed controllers to 1 throttle. For example, this bike right here had front and a rear controller with 2 throttles, so you can control them individually. But I let a buddy ride it, and it was so fast to him, he actually never hit the front throttle. So now I decided to connect it all to 1. And if I want to use just the front, I just click off the controller, which will turn the front one off, and it'll be just the rear, excuse me. If I want to use just the front, I would turn this display all the way down to 0 and then keep on the front, and it will work with the front. But I'm going to go ahead and bring you inside the shop and show you how to do this. Again, so here we got 2 100 amp controllers, 2 3,000 watt motors. This vehicle had torque transfer with 2 separate throttles. It actually will have a 3rd motor in the middle with a twist throttle. But for now, today I just wanted to show you guys how to connect 2 controllers to 1 throttle. So we're going to start off right here. You go ahead and find the actual throttle wire, which is normally a positive, a negative, positive, a negative, and a neutral wire. That neutral wire sometimes is white or green in most applications. So for example, here it is on the other one, which it's white. And so you got a positive, a negative, and a neutral wire. This is the throttle already hooked up to this controller. This throttle right here has been cut off. So all I need to do is cut this wire right here, which will be the signal wire. From this controller, leave everything, cut the signal wire. Now join these signal wires all together so that you got both controller signal wires tied together. Once the signal wires are tied together and 1 positive and negative is sent to a controller, the throttle will control both of them. So now we'll go ahead and connect this one back. So now that one would be working normal, positive, negative, and a signal wire. And then from this controller, we're just going to go ahead and steal that signal wire and jump it into this one. Note, never work with the battery connected. Also, when you disconnect the battery, before you disconnect it, turn the unit on, then disconnect it and give it gas just so that it takes out all the power out of the controllers, because the controllers act like a capacitor which store power. So when you first plug up a controller, if it don't got no power stored in it, you should hear a pop. That's a good thing. But if you left the controller when you unplugged it with power in it, if you accidentally touched anything, you could mess up the controller, you could mess up the displays, you could burn out the throttle, you could have the throttle halfway working. There's a lot of different scenarios. So now that we got it all connected, let's go ahead and plug this in, which this should give us a nice pop. There's the pop. Now if I can get this plugged in. There we go. Let's go ahead and turn on both these displays. That's 1. That's 2. Go ahead and turn it up to level 5. Turn this one up to level 5. Hit the one throttle now, and both rims should spin. There they go. Both of them working off one. This one don't got no brake on it at all. But yeah, there you go. That's how it's done. So once again, I'll go over it real quick. A regular throttle has a positive and negative and a neutral wire. Positive, negative, and a neutral. So does this throttle. All you need to connect is jump out the signal wire into the other throttle and leave the positive and negative jumped out. And then this will control both controllers. Another electric tip. Thanks. Please like and subscribe and share this. Wait, we ain't done yet. So for all of my people who need to see it visually on paper, we're gonna go ahead and do this on paper. Well, let's call it wood. Paper before paper. So yeah, controller number 1. Boop, 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 boop. We got controller number 2. We got a throttle. Let's do a nice little twist throttle. Coming from the throttle, you're gonna have a positive, a negative, and a signal wire. So you got a positive, a negative, and a signal. So you're gonna have a positive, negative, and a signal. Positive, negative, and a signal. You're gonna have positive, negative, and a signal. So typically you would just connect positive to positive, negative to negative, and signal to signal. To connect two controllers, you leave the positive and negative alone on here, take that signal wire and jump it right on into your signal here. So there you go. Hope y'all can see this. So we got the signal wire jumping into the other signal wire, going to the signal wire of the throttle. And you got the negative with the negative, positive with the positive to one controller. And this will control two motors, two controllers off one throttle. Now, reasons you might do this. Once again, I only built 2 vehicles with torque transfer, and that's this quad sitting right here, which is very fun. And I had a go-kart that was torque transfer. But sometimes when you build a bike and you got one rim that's more powerful than the other, people never hit the other throttle. They just hit the powerful one. And they use the power equally and not heat both motors up as much as they need to be heated up, because they can use each other's ability to take the load off each other and act as a turbo, which allows them to not heat up as fast. So truthfully, the most efficient way to run it would be one throttle with the 2 controllers versus the 2 throttles, because it would use the power equally every single time versus a human trying to use it left and right. And that's all. Please like, subscribe, electric tips, and share.